distinguished members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. It's with great pleasure that we welcome you to the first of its kind Pearl Symposium organized by Danat. With over 4,000 years of pearling history, Bahrain's pearls remain to this day its national treasure, internationally famous for their beauty, brilliance, and purity. Without any further ado, I would like to introduce to you Ms. Noura Jamshir, the CEO of Danat, who will tell us more about the first edition of the Pearl Symposium.
On behalf of the Bahrain Institute for Pearls and Gemstones, Danat, I would like to welcome everyone to Bahrain, the world's home for natural pearls. Bahrain's prominence in the pearl industry is a journey that started hundreds of centuries ago. Today's venue is not a coincidence. We chose to organize the first International Pearl Symposium close to the Pearl Trail, which was proclaimed a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is a testament to Bahrain's status in the pearl industry throughout. Thanks to Danat's esteemed group of scientists, Danat is announcing today the development of a classification system for natural pearls, a tool that will standardize natural pearls in time before the buildup of the pearl trading markets. Similar to the 4 Cs for diamonds, the Danat classification system will surely contribute to the growth of the pearl trade. Moreover, our highly qualified researchers have put together an atlas book of the internal structures of natural pearls, for which we are taking orders today. The theme for this year's symposium relates to the environment. The panelists will take us on a journey through history, presenting the story of pearls from the US to Bahrain. Our panelists will also talk about the challenges facing the pearling industry, such as the issue of cashew pearls. You will also get to hear from industry experts about the challenges labs face relating to the identification of pearls. We hope your next few days with us will be filled with joy as we take you through an exciting journey that we are sure will be nothing but amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Noura. Now it's time for Mr. Yasser Al-Sharifi, the chairman of the board of Danat, to introduce to us the SIBJO Congress.
Good morning and welcome everyone. We're delighted to have you all here with us, and we're also excited to have Noura Jamshir at the helm of Danat, leading the development of the Institute towards its future. And its first great event is the inaugural introduction of the Pearl Symposium. And I'm also honored to announce today that under the patronage of His Royal Highness Prince Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa, the Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Bahrain, we will be hosting the SIBJO Congress here from the 18th to the 20th of this month at the Four Seasons Hotel. And we also have the privilege of having Dr. Gaetano Cavalieri here, the president of SIBJO, to explain and shed some light as to what the event is going to be about and what they're going to discuss over the next few days.
Thank you, Mr. Yasser. I'd like to welcome now Dr. Gaetano Cavalieri, president of SIBJO, to give us further details about the Congress.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. First of all, I would like to thank the royal family and of course Danat and this chairman and the CEO for the reason that we are here. Without them, would never happen. Is a special privilege to have the SIBJO Congress in Bahrain and in this area, because Bahrain is in the world in terms of natural pearls specifically, and jewelry in general, is one of the most important area and also production area that everybody who is in this business know quite well. SIBJO, which is an acronym from French, meaning Confédération Internationale des Bijouteries, Joaillerie, Orfèvrerie, Pearl and Pierre Précieux, in English, the World Jewelry Confederation, is the confederation that represents all the national association worldwide and the so-called commercial member, which are the major important groups in the world, such as the beers or many others, and we have a very high representation. We have today 45 or 46 countries and over 40 commercial members. In other words, in terms of figures, we represent over 7 million companies in the world and more than 100 people involved and working in this industry. We are representing this industry towards the government and the public authorities. We are recognized all over the world. We sit, and we are the only one who sit and recognized by the United Nations Economic and Social Council. We are dealing and signatories of the Global Compact. We have regular session with the OECD. We have activities with all the different UN agencies around the world, including activity related to anti-money laundering, which is obviously a very negative activity, and we fight all these kind of issues because, as you may remember, over 20 years ago, the industry was attacked by the NGO at the time, and we set up the World Diamond Council and the Kimberley process, and the Kimberley process certification scheme in terms of rough diamond, and we were able to end war in Central Africa, taking out the element which was money. Today, I would say 99.99% of the entire activity is full transparent, but even though it will be 0.0000 something, still is that part too much, and we are continue fighting in this sense. We are representing also this industry in terms of environment, which is one of the elements that we are going to talk during this incoming Congress, because the environment is very important, especially, you know, in an area which is clean by definition and by nature, like this, but especially in a specific area where, for instance, recently we have found natural pearls that are, I would say, not special, unique. I think one is 18 millimeters and the other one is 9 millimeters. And I invite you to visit and see where these pearls are displayed, because it's very rare. You know, nature from time to time is still impressing us, as it happens every day when the sun is shining, because, you know, having found two pearls like this, you know, this is something that the value is immense, and the value belongs to Bahrain, because we are not found in another area. You know, Bahrain is very well known, since we were talking with the chairman a few minutes ago, is very well known in the history since 5,000 years. So it's not something known today, it's something that was very well known thousands of years ago. Today, we are here to celebrate the pride, let me say that, the pride of this wonderful, incredible country in natural pearls, unique area, and I'm not saying that because I want to please nor the chairman, nor the CEO, nor you, because this is a fact. This is a fact. wherever you go in the world, there is no other area where this may happen. Because, you know, when there was the creation, you know, somebody say, okay, in this area we have to put this, and happen. And today, with this symposium, and let me express my deep satisfaction, more than appreciation and congratulations to the Danat Board of Directors, its chairman, CEO, the fact that they went to the decision to set a symposium like this. And I wish that this symposium may be the first of many, which is supported by me personally and by CIPJO at large, in order to spread out this exceptional, unique treasure to the attention of the entire jeweled world, and not only, which is big. As an example, today, more than ever, where we have all this fact that we can see in the news when we switch off on the television and we see the news, you know, that from time to time is also a good thing to have a good news instead of a number of negative news. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for being with us today. I want to underline the importance of the activity of Danat, which is an educational activity more than a business activity. It's an educational activity because they are present all around the world with all their management and scientists, and they are bringing, you know, stories that never ever in the jewelry and specifically in the pearl industry has been done up to now. So thank you very much for that. Congratulations to all of you, and I am ready to answer whatever question you wish. Thank you so much.
Dr. Kitano Cavalieri, thank you very much. The floor is now open for questions.
السلام عليكم.
السلام.
شكرا على الكلمات الطيبة. كنت بودي أن أسأل، هل سمعتوا عن دانا اطلق عليها اسم دانات عيسو؟ باعتباري أنا يعني أكتب، فموجودة في كتاب من الكتب مالتي إن دانات عيسو هذه في أعوام الأربعينات وأعوام الثلاثينات، هي تعتبر أغلى دانة، أو الأصح هي قيمتها أقل من دانة ثانية، لأني تابعت الموضوع مع أحد الشخصيات الكبيرة في السن قصدي، وهذا الشخص قال لي، بحار هو، قال لي بأن هي حصلنا دانة أكبر منها، ولكن دانة عيسو أجمل، ولذلك أنا يعني مو متأكد وين وصلت هي، ولكن يقال إن هي في لندن. فهل سمعتوا عن دانة اسمها دانة عيسو؟ هذا هو سؤالي.
إذا تسمح لي أجاوب.
دانة عيسو اسم من دانة عيسو لأن في ذيك الفترة كانوا يجون من فارس من إيران بحارة ويستأجرون بعض القوارب ويدشون فيه البحر، فهذا الشخص اسمه عيسى، بس احنا في البحرين تقليل من شأنه عيسو، ولذلك نسبت هذه الدانة إلى دانة عيسو. شكرا وآسف على التطويل.
إذا تسمح لي أجاوب على سؤالك. والله أنا سمعت تو من قبل فترة يومياتنا، احنا تونا من قبل يمكن كم من أسبوع صار كان في مقال عن دانا اللي سمعنا عنها إن هي أكبر دانا حجما وجدت في البحرين. الدانا حوالي 18 قيراط، وهاي خلانا نبحث في الموضوع أكثر، إن هل هاي هي الدانة اللي حصلنا عليها لدانات سوت عليها بحوث وأصدرت لها شهادة، هل هاي الدانة اللي حصلناها هي دانة تنسب إلى شخص اسمه سند الجفن؟ هل إنها دانة سند أكبر ولا دانة عيسو أكبر؟ فبحثنا في الموضوع حسب ما تفضلت وسألنا يعني تاريخيا، قالوا إن دانة عيسو كانت أكبر دانة، بس اللي نعرفه اليوم طبعا ذيك الأيام ما كان في يمكن إحصائيات وما كان في مقاسات تاخذ الدانة، لكن اليوم اللي نعرفه حسب ما فهمنا إن دانة سند اللي احنا اللي دانات ثمنتها عن قريب واطلقت عليها سبق صحفي اكبر دانه حجما، يعني وزنها اكثر من دانه عيسو. ما شفنا دانه عيسو عشان نقدر نحدد هل هاي الشيء يعني اي، لكن طبعا هاي الدانه اللي دانات اللي هي دانه سند يعني أول طبعا يعني خذنا وقت كثير في المختبر نبحث فيها وكذي، وهي طبعا شيء يعني ما شفنا من قبل. هو طبعا في عالم اللولو والطبيعي يمكن موجود في دول ثانية، يعني يمكن يحصلون على دانات أو اللولوات أكبر من كذي، لكن من بحر الخليج هاي الدانة لحد الآن احنا قاعدين ما زلنا نبحث، بس حسب معلومات اللي عندنا إياها أن هاي الدانة هي أكبر دانة اللي وجدت في البحرين، واللي تونا حين في 2019 من قبل شهر حوالي أصدرنا عليها تقرير. شكرا.
If I may answer the question of the gentleman, because he asked me if I am aware of the Danat pearl, the Danat Isa pearl, by chance. I am a collector of jewelry books, which is very difficult to find in the market. I have an entire library about jewelry, design, pearls, gold, platinum, diamond, color stone. Let me start from my family background. My family is in the jewelry business since 1821, 1821. My son is the generation number 8. And all of us, we are PhD in several subjects. I am personally PhD in economics and other stuff, but apart that, we like to study what has been and still is the main activity of the family, which is jewelry generally, in the very English sense of the word, so from mine to retail. Said that, being myself an economist, and the marketing specialist, one of the things that I have learned is to know the products that you are selling or buying, or at least you are involved. In my case, the jewelry industry. So I have read about this pearl. I have a specific book on natural pearls, and in that book is written about that. In the era that was going, as you said, from the area of the Gulf through the Iran, Iraqi, Syria, and then up to the Mediterranean, and maybe this pearl is in London. I will ask my wife, who is here, if she's British, so maybe she knows about the pearl, if it's in London or not. But apparently, the fact that, as you mentioned, because that means that you doubt that the people knows about it, probably you're right. But I mean, I know by chance because I read. Because if you ask the modern business pearl people, maybe they have some knowledge, maybe not, in terms of this specific pearl. But the fact of this is not only, and thank you very much for mentioning it, the fact to me is seen under a different point of view. And the different point of view is again related to nature. And this is an element to me that make me thinking how we have to act in a way to preserve our nature, and we are not doing it. Still we are doing something, but whatever we do is not enough. That means that we have to preserve our nature in terms of marine environment, in terms of the air that we breathe altogether, you know, because we live in one world. I was personally at the Ocean Day of the United Nations a couple of years ago at United Nations headquarters in New York, invited by a South Pacific government to talk about the marine environment related in particular to pearls. Well, I have to say that you know, in terms of environment, if the environment when the pearl was found until today was not as it was, we cannot enjoy about the miracle of nature that you are mentioning. You know, you are mentioning specific Danat pearl, but I can mention a number of examples, you know, and I will, let me give you a little example on that. I'm sorry if I take some time. You know, I was able to visit a number of pearl farms in Australia. And I went in the middle of ocean, living on the ship few days and following the job they do. And I was amazed, and now I'm talking about cultured pearls, I'm not talking about natural pearls. But they take every single oyster, they open a little bit the oyster and they check if the pearl is in good health, and they talk to the pearl like a mother talks to the baby. So this is amazing. Now, if this is done in the cultured pearl, I cannot imagine what's happened in nature, naturally, with the natural process, with the natural pearl. That's why I call what you mentioned and the pearl that were found a miracle of life. We have to thank God for that, because again, is one of those areas where this institute is making everything they can, and even more than that, you know, in order to spread out this history, philosophy, and what nowadays we are living all around the world. And we in CIPJO, with the few million company we represent, not only we support, but we are there hand to hand in order to bring forward the importance of what they do. So thank you very much for your question. There was the
Any
gentleman.
other questions?
The gentleman next to you want to make a question.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
سالم السبيعي، جريدة الرياض السعودية. أولا شكرا على هذا التجمع الرائع. الأخوة في البحرين عودونا دائما على المبادرات الرائعة ولا يستغرب منهم. تحتضن البحرين هذه الأيام أول مؤتمر من نوعه في العالم، وهذا شيء فخر لنا جميعا. سؤالي كيف ترون انعكاس ذلك على البحرين وعلى دول الخليج، وكيف تتم الاستفادة من هذا المؤتمر في المحافظة على ما لدينا من ثروات والاستفادة منها في حتى في استقطاب السواح للاطلاع على ما لدينا من إمكانيات ومقومات. شكرا لكم.
نشكرك أخوي على السؤال. So I'll answer in English so that it's clear to everyone. Obviously, we as Danat have the responsibility to ensure the quality and to continue to invest in the development of innovation and research to protect and safeguard the natural pearl industry in Bahrain and around the world, and to support the colored stone element. And obviously this works well when we work jointly as an ecosystem with the other players and the stakeholders. And for us today, as an example of the privilege that we have, having the coordination and cooperation of a powerful institution like SIPJO, bringing the best of the players, the researchers, the analysts, the technical people, the traders of the industry to the country, to be able to look at all the different elements of how we can develop and protect a core part of our heritage and history of this part of the world. The pearling industry is the center was Bahrain, but it was not unique to Bahrain. It was ongoing in the UAE, in Kuwait, in Qatar, in Persia, and the rest. However, this was the center. Our aim is to revive that and to grow it and to have people realize the value of such a naturally available, high-value item that exists and lasts through generations. And I'll just ask maybe Dr. Gaetano to add from the wider perspective his view on this.
Well, again, thank you very much for this other question. Let me congratulate you because the questions are very well focused and very well articulated. So it's easy also for us, for me specifically, to answer your question. Let me go back to a little history. And the history is that when we take the first book of the history that at least I studied, you know, I start from this area. Because this area, all this Arab and Mediterranean area, was the first beginning of the historical history of humanity. And when in this part of the world, you know, in the Gulf, in Iran, in Iraq, in Egypt, there was a big civilized people, kingdoms, pharaohs, you know, big general, and the army was under control as a peacekeeper, not as a peacemaker, as a peacekeeper. You know, the rest of the world was still, you know, like living, you know, in the jungle. So the civilization was starting from here towards the rest of the world. Thank you for that. What is the benefit for the Gulf area? I believe the benefit is massive. And I'm telling you this not as my personal point of view, but as a fact. And where the fact is lying. The fact is lying on the specific activity that in this area, and specifically this country, with the person that we will have as a keynote speaker here later on today, you know, in the environment. The reason is also coming from the fact that we not only support that, but we are bringing here in Bahrain people from the United Nations that are dealing every day on the 17 sustainable goals. We are bringing here the representative of the CEO of Global Compact, Mrs. Lisa Kingo, coming, bringing a specific message that if you will attend the Congress, you will see yourself on the screen what she is going to say as a message, where environment is essential and the example of this area is essential. Now, we are, again, you know, in the news we can see piece of the North Pole or the South Pole with these glaciers collapsing. On the contrary, we can see here people that is taking care of the health. I don't want to mention specifically the oyster, but I mention specifically the fish. I mention specifically the quality of the fish. In other parts of the world, the people is afraid even to eat because mercury. Here you can eat easily because you know that it's a natural thing. So the benefit is that we will draw the attention of the world on this specific area, and Bahrain particularly, that we are going to put, as is starting today, this part of the world under the spotlight worldwide. And we will communicate every day, constantly, what we are going to do every day during not only this symposium, but also during the Congress. And certainly, you know, the world will know. You cannot imagine how many journalists are in contact with my Director of Communication, Mr. Benson, is here. And he is dealing with all those that were not able to come over here. But our system, as we have said, received many comments that our communication is like to them live live what is happening here. So thanks to this advanced communication system that we may enjoy and benefit today, this country, this area, is already benefiting since the moment that we start communicating that the Congress was going to be held here, about the fact that people is coming to see and to learn. This morning, by chance, I introduced to the chairman a lady that I don't mention the name, which is one of the super top pearl dealers in the United States as a wholesaler, but super top, very high quality, and she came all along from New York to stay with us, just to give you an example. Yesterday, when I took the plane to come over to Bahrain, I met my good friend, the chief scientist, pearl gemologist from Mikimoto Pearls, just to mention specifically, as many others are coming, or probably they arrived I'm sure they arrived already. And we have received letter from the Pearl Association in the United States, from Pearl Association in Japan, from all over the world, because obviously the people, you know, not everybody is free from several commitment to come over, but they are following and they are sending us all their comments or subject to put under discussion with what we are going to do. In CIBJO, we set standards. We set standards. And our standards are recognized also in the Court of Justice wherever in the world. Because in the lack of legislation and still our, what is named the set of our standards into the Blue Book for diamond, color stones, pearl, precious metal, coral, and so on, are considered, you know, the set of standards that in several countries are taken, and we have requested permission to make about the Blue Book's national law. And I can mention from Europe, such as France, to Indonesia, just to give you just a little example. But over that, not only we work on daily basis in order that the Congress is the most important moment to take decision, to put on the table new issues, to discuss those issues, and then if everything will be agreed and approved, then we will have another decision. It's a living document. The entire Blue Book system is a living document where whatever is, let's say, what the modernity is bringing to us, you know, such as telephone, we have so many options. Today we can talk from here to the rest of the world. I remember one day I was using to talk to my father the telex. I don't know who of you remember the telex, but for sure I was. And this is the possibility that we have today, because there is people that is work in order to reach new invention, new vision, new activity worldwide in order to improve our life and improving our quality of the life that we are living. We are there to improve the quality of the life of people that is involved in the jewelry industry, in this specific case, in the natural pearls, because that's what we want. We were able in many countries, such as in Africa, we were able in many countries, such as in South America, we are able in improving that in China, mainland, many decades ago. So we hear, we listen, because it's important for us to listen, and then we discuss with our group of top scientists worldwide, including the people from Danat, especially the people from Danat, I would say, but not because we are here, because it's recognized all over the world, even if the institute is young, but is already highly respected all around the world. And ladies and gentlemen, I have to say that the contribution that we have from this area and this country is so important, and this is also why we have, with joy, accepted the invitation of the chairman and the board of directors of the Danat to have the Congress in this country. Thank you very much.
Do we have any further questions?
أشرف المرزوق. تحدثت مع زملاء في الوسط الصحفي عن رغبتي بحضور هذا المؤتمر. اتصل بعضهم وقال هل تريد أن يعني يريدون موعد معي، فقلت أنا مرتبط بحضور مؤتمر عن اللؤلؤ. كانت إجاباتهم استغراب، وهل هناك لا يزال في شيء يتحدث عن اللؤلؤ؟ هل لا تزال اللؤلؤ مادة جاذبة، أو أن هذه العنوان مهم بالنسبة لك إلى هذه الدرجة؟ دعوني أتكلم بصراحة. نحن من قراءاتنا وثقافتنا نعلم أن صناعة اللؤلؤ الطبيعي قد تراجعت في العقود الأخيرة إلى درجة كبيرة، وصلت إلى حد الاندثار، ولم نعد في الآونة الأخيرة نسمع عن اللؤلؤ إلا في إطار ما أشرتم إليه في قضايا غسيل الأموال أو في قضايا المتعلقة بالبيئة. سؤالي: ما الذي استجد حتى يتم إعادة إحياء هذه الصناعة والتحدث عنها من جديد بهذا الزخم وبهذا الاهتمام. سؤالي الثاني مرتبط يمكن بالمعهد الأستاذة نورة. نحن نعلم أن هذه المعاهد هي بالنهاية تهتم بدرجة أساسية بالجانب التراثي والعلمي والبحثي، وهذا شيء مهم جدا في توثيق هذا المجال أو هذا العلم. ولكن التحدي المالي دائما يواجه مثل هذه الجهات وهذه النوعية من المعاهد. هل هناك خطة أو دراسة جدوى اقتصادية feasibility study من أجل أن يساهم بعض أعمال المعهد في التمويل؟ هل يمكن أو هل يخطط المعهد أن يقيم دورات تدريبية مدفوعة الثمن إلى الجهات المعنية على سبيل المثال؟ هل يخطط المعهد إلى إقامة مختبر علمي عالمي موثق بحيث أن يكون مرجع لكل دول العالم أو لكل المهتمين في مجال تقييم وتثمين هذه الأحجار؟ وشكرا على إتاحة الفرصة.
Thank you very much for that excellent question. Two questions, actually. The first part of the question, in terms of the value of pearls and the importance of pearls in fine jewelry and a surviving and thriving industry. So, pearls have been at the heart of fine jewelry as the first precious stone ever utilized by humankind. And we're talking about thousands of years of history. And I'm sure Gaetano will have a lot to explain and add there. And where we are today in Bahrain is with the vision of the leadership here, and in particular the interest of His Majesty the King, and under the direction and support of His Royal Highness Prince Salman, the Prime Minister. The whole Pearl revival was initiated, and the lab and the institute today is only one part of that vision. So the concept is working in line with our Vision 2030 to diversify the economy. We work in a holistic approach to address the opportunities, building on the core strengths of a country like Bahrain. So the pearl industry has always been a part of our heritage and history. It has continued. Even the pearl trade itself and the jewelry elements of it has continued to have the support of key families here that have never given up, even after the introduction of cultured pearls from Japan, and they have continued to work and support and innovate to do so. So in order to ensure the continuity of this, the first step was to think, as you said, from a commercial perspective, rather than have the lab as part of a ministry or a government function. It was privatized. So today, Danat sits as a subsidiary, wholly owned subsidiary of Mumtalakat. And we as the board of directors have been empowered to come with a plan to ensure the sustainability of the lab for the future. And this is why today we focus not only on pearls, but on colored stones as well. And there are three key pillars to the support and the development of this institute. The certification is one, so we obviously charge for certification. And we today process the highest volume of pearls, natural pearls, in the world in terms of inspection and certification. But we are working with our partners to go up the value chain to be able to do that for high value items. The second element is obviously the research, and the third is the education. But these I will leave the details for Noura to explain further. And this is one element. So if you think about how this works as a contributor to the economy, you have different elements of it. So the certification and the research is one, but it is also the encouragement by having the right standards and the quality and the governance to encourage entrepreneurship, by encouraging further development of the pearl and jewelry industry. There's the tourism element, because now today you can come as a visitor, go and visit the wonderful World Heritage Site we have here, the UN Heritage Site, the Pearl Trail. You can go on a boat, you can go diving, pick up the shells. If you find a pearl, you get it certified by us. You can go into the old souk and have it designed and set as a jewelry piece. So encourages entrepreneurship, the trade, the standard setting, and then the tourism element. And Noura, if you'd like to add anything there. So.
I'm just thinking to answer in English or in Arabic. Okay, I'll answer in English. Okay. I think the question you posed is probably something on a lot of people's minds. That are there really natural pearls, especially to the larger community? And we at Danat grades millions of pearls a year. So not one or two, and the volumes are consistent. Now, Danat and pearls, the Danat grades don't stay. Some of them stay in Bahrain, but a lot of them travel to manufacturing countries around the world, and they're being manufactured and sold internationally. So the Bahraini pearls are reaching international markets. There are challenges, of course, to the trade, and this is why, with the whole purpose of the Pearl Revival Initiative, is to make it more international, is to take the pearl trade, the natural pearl trade, on a more significant level, and to have a significant and prominent status on the international market. And just like Mr. Al-Sharifi mentioned, there are more than one element to the Pearl Revival Initiative, which there is Danat, tourism, culture, Economic Development Board, the environment. So it's not only Danat that has a role in taking pearls to the international level. It's also the initiatives that the Culture Authority listing the Pearl Trail as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The initiatives that tourism are doing, like Bahrain now is the only country in the world where tourists can travel to and go pearl diving, and they get to keep whatever pearls they find. The initiatives again of another important contributor to the Pearl Revival is the Supreme Council for Environment, and the initiatives that they're doing to protect the pearl beds and make sure that the pearling is a sustainable initiative. So there are different counterparts that are coming together to revive the world's interest in natural pearls. Natural pearls, there's always an interest in natural pearls. Hopefully with the new initiative, we just want to reach into new markets. We want to renew the interest in natural pearls. Thank you.
And if I could just add before I hand over to Gaetano. So timing-wise, actually I think we're at the perfect timing in terms of awareness. So if you think about environmental awareness, we are today nurturing a natural product that, with the development and the support of the standards and what we hope to present during the Pearl Symposium, the standardization, the addition of the element of the certification and the quality and the provenance create that value certification. So you have a natural element that sustains and lives on. It has always historically been a key element of any pearl collection and jewelry collection. Even from the royals anywhere in the world, you will see any important piece always has natural pearls as part of it. So we think we're at the right cycle. And Gaetano, maybe you could add something there.
Yes, thank you very much. Honestly, I wrote down few words that you mentioned, which are very surprising to me, very surprising. Number one, you said, my colleagues are shocked. When I think to the meaning of the word shock, is like something, like electric, that is bringing completely, surprising somebody because the pearl. And why I'm saying that? Because I do not understand why they are shocked. Number one. Number two, you mentioned the word revival. And revival is a concept more than the meaning of the words that obviously has a lot of background. I go to argue in a second. And then you mentioned natural, and then you didn't mention culture, but I was expecting you to mention cultures in terms of pearls. So let me start now to go into shocked, revival, culture, natural, and culture. The chairman said that pearl, since ever, and if you look at the last movie that was presented to the world from Walt Disney, I think Aladdin. I don't know if you saw this movie, but it's full of pearls. The Sultan, the king, the princess, they have all these pearls, you know, on top as jewelry. If you consider what the chairman said about pearl was the original beauty as a gem, you know, given when you were visiting from one kingdom to another kingdom. And then from this, I still am surprised about the term shocked, because if you link the word and the meaning of shocked to revival, revival of what? The fact is that sometimes we all, simply because we do not have in our iPhone or we Google something, at the time we use, and still we have at home, you know, several encyclopedias, you know, Britannia or the Italian or the American, where we were to make research and we were having in every single word the story. But revival of what? When you give a pearl to somebody as a present, or you give a ring or a bracelet or earrings, you choose a pearl because the meaning of the pearl historically and even religiously has a very special meaning. So the pearl is a sensation of beauty, is a sensation of nature, is a sensation of love, is a sensation of all these elements. And I'm not talking as a marketing man, I'm talking as a real sensation. Because, you know, when you give a pearl, is something that is exceptional. A pearl is not a diamond. A pearl is not a color stone. A pearl is not something else in nature. A pearl is something that is coming from nature, that you want to give as a sign of love, appreciation, dedication, eternity, because it's something that lives forever. You have to take care of the pearl like a baby once the pearl is mounted in a piece of jewelry. And this is one thing. So revival, that's why I ask revival of what? Revival of a sensation, revival of beauty, revival of elegance. But in the jewelry business, there are the top designers in the world. Since, you know, I don't want to start from the 1300, such as in Italy, you know, we have this long history, but I start from Cartier, just to give you an example. If you look at the collection of Cartier, the most beautiful collection is not because diamond, is not because designing, is not because making a piece of jewelry, but because it's built on the shape of the natural pearl a wonderful, unique piece of jewelry. And the meaning of that is beauty, is culture, is religion, is love, is celebration, and I can list a lot of things. So that's why when I say revival, and because the pearl is so natural, then the same industry, because the modernity, then decided to produce culture pearl, which are produced in a certain way, which again is not natural, but still as produced and made by the oyster. So there is, I mean, in our blue book, there is a big differentiation between the one and the others. So please convey to your colleagues, journalists, my really appreciation for being them shocked and being them considering revival in terms of natural. But please, in the meantime, tell your colleague journalists that this is the history of the world and this is the history of life. And they want to write, you know, an article. This article will have, you know, point and comma, and in the jewelry industry to underline this exceptional moment of changing from one sentence to another. We use pearls, you know, as interval between one sentence and another. We are ready, and I can give you, I mean, it's not this the case, but I can give you a lot of modern historical elements in order that the revival is not a revival, but is a continuation of life, and the continuation of what the beauty of the pearls mean for the entire industry. You take a design, the most challenging thing is produce and design a piece of jewelry around the pearl, where the pearl is the main element and the rest is only contour. I hope I answer your question.
Thank you, Gita.
I think you want the microphone.
I think the gentleman at the back
There's
had a
gentleman
question.
in the back,
Hey.
and the lady there.
بداية أنا أشكر الجميع على سعة الصدر واستقبال سؤالي بكل حسن النية الذي قصدته من خلف السؤال. بداية سأوصل رسالتك التي طلبت لزملائي الصحفيين وسيكونوا سعيدين أكيد بهذه الإجابة.
ونتشرف وجودهم المرة الجاية إن شاء الله.
إن شاء الله يا رب. قبل بس عندي تعقيب بسيط حتى لا تكون المسألة عبارة عن مساجلة. نحن درسنا عن اللؤلؤ ونحن تلاميذ في المدرسة. أنا ولدت في الكويت، وأيضا صناعة الكويت وثقافة اللؤلؤ هي ثقافة موجودة في كل المنطقة، ولهذا نحن لم نفارق مسألة القراءة والدراسة عن اللؤلؤ بحياتنا. قبل 5 سنوات أنا أنتجت برنامج وثائقي عن البحرين، وصور في معظم المناطق الثقافية والمعالم الثقافية. قصدت وكان عندي عنوان في هذا البرنامج الوثائقي التحدث عن اللؤلؤ. لا أخفيكم وجدت صعوبة عندما تواصلت مع صناعة المجوهرات في السوق البحريني أن أجد جهات معينة تستطيع أن تقدم لي مادة محتوى لهذا التقرير. فحولت المحتوى من صناعة اللؤلؤ إلى صناعة الذهب، وفعلا ذهبت إلى أحد مصانع الذهب، وكانت الفقرة التي تحدثنا فيها ولا أريد أن أذكر الاسم كانت عن صناعة الذهب. وأيضا صناعة الذهب متميزة في البحرين، وهي من المفاخر التي يعني يشهد لها التاريخ أو الثقافة في البحرين في هذا الجانب. ولهذا أنا عندما تحدثت أيضا الإجابة على سؤالك، وأنا واثق أن سؤالك هو من واقع اهتمامك بمعرفة المفردة، وليس من واقع يعني الاستهانة بها أو الاستخفاف بها. أكيد أنت شخص متخصص في هذا المجال، وأنا أحترم جدا أنك عاشق وإنسان شغوف بهذا الأمر. نحن بالنسبة لنا مهمتنا أن ننقل نبض القارئ ونبض المشاهد ونبض الشارع، وزملائي عندما استغربوا كانوا يعبروا بحقيقة عن هذا النبض، ولهذا لعل الزملاء يمكن فهموا السؤال بطريقة أو بمعنى المطلوب. معنى الإحياء أنا أقصد هذا المؤتمر هو جزء من معنى الإحياء. إقامة المعهد هو جزء من هذا الإحياء، وأنا لهذا عند هذه المفردة أوضحها، ولعلي يعني قصدتها بهذا المعنى. وشكرا للجميع.
أشكرك. لخ.
Thank you very much.
السلام عليكم. أنا اسمي هاني فاروق، صحفي في جريدة الأهرام المصرية. عندي سؤالين. في الأول عايز يعني إلقاء الضوء على التصنيف الجديد للؤلؤ اللي سيتم إعلانه خلال المؤتمر. تمام. السؤال الثاني عايزين يعني إلقاء الضوء بالأرقام على حجم إنتاج البحرين للؤلؤ، وخصوصا إن أنا يعني قبل ما أحضر للمؤتمر قرأت في الأعداد في أرشيف الأهرام، فوجدت موضوعات عن اللؤلؤ تم يعني نشرت في عام 1971 في مع استقلال مملكة البحرين. كان التقرير بيتكلم على ان اللؤلؤ الياباني خطف الضوء من اللؤلؤ في البحرين. عايز اتكلم عن المقارنة، ان هو كان التقرير ده معد من مملكة البحرين وقتها في عام 1971. عايز اتكلم اقارن بين الماضي والحاضر بالنسبة للؤلؤ البحريني.
شكرا أستاذي على سؤالك. سؤالك صراحة يعني مشوق، وإحنا بحثنا في هالمجال من قبل. من قبل فترة قعدت مع بعض التجار البحرينيين العوائل اللولو، وكان عندهم مقولة وايد حلوة الصراحة. قالوا إن سوق اللولو يمرض لكنه ما يموت. ولما اكتشفنا تاريخيا هاي هو كان حقيقة الواقع، ان يعني هناك اشارات تدل على ان اللؤلؤ، صناعة اللؤلؤ كانت موجودة في البحرين من آلاف السنين. يعني الكل هاي المعالم التاريخية مبنية يعني تثبت ان كانت في تجارة لؤلؤ. طبعا ذيك الايام لا كان في صحف ولا شيء، يعني الحين احنا في خلال 100 سنة اللي طافت شنو صار؟ طبعا صارت حوادث اقتصادية كثيرة، منها الحروب العالمية، منها دخول اللؤلؤ المزروع، ومنها اكتشاف النفط عندنا في منطقة الخليج. فاللي اللي صار في 1930 يعني لدرجة يعني في بعض الرسائل تشير إلى أن ظهور اللؤلؤ المزروع خلق عدم توازن في السوق العالمي، طبعا في سوق اللولو. وطبعا كل ما تصير في مثل خلينا نقول مستجدات في اي سوق عالمي، السوق يروح يعني يدخل في مرحله عدم توازن، وهاي اعتقد اللي صار في سوق اللولو خلال الفتره الماضيه. وبعدين لا تنسى فكانت في رسائل تدل على عدم توازن من 1930. في 1932 تم اكتشاف النفط في البحرين، فكل غواصين اللولو بدل ما انهم يخاطرون بحياتهم ويغوصون، اتجهوا الى وظائف مثلا في شركات النفط وهاي. فطبعا اكيد انتاجيه سوق اللولو يعني الانتاج كسوق نزل، بس مو معناته ان استخراج اللؤلؤ الطبيعي او الاهتمام في اللؤلؤ الطبيعي اندثر. وما ادري كان في يعني اذا عندكم علم ولا لا، ان في 1930 لما ظهر موضوع اللؤلؤ المزروع، البحرين اصدرت تعميم تحث على عدم تجاره اللؤلؤ المزروع. وبعد ما اكتسبت البحرين استقلالها، هاي القرار صار قانون. فاحنا لما اكتشفنا هالشيء لما كنا نراجع تاريخ المختبر، تاريخ مختبر البحرين، فلما طلع هالقانون وصار قانون كان على الحكومه ان تنشئ جهه تبحث في السوق وتشوف شنو هو اللؤلؤ الطبيعي وشنو هو اللؤلؤ المزروع. ففي وزاره التجاره انشات اداره تهتم بهالموضوع. لما شافوا ان الموضوع والله لا، ان في لولو وايد طبيعي لولو وايد قاعد يمر في 1900 في التسعينات، انشأتها الإدارة كمختبر، فصار مختبر البحرين للؤلؤ والأحجار الكريمة. ومن ذاك الوقت مختبر البحرين يعني صارت عنده خبرة واكتسب مهارات لتثمين أو لتقييم اللؤلؤ الطبيعي. فاللؤلؤ الطبيعي والبحرين صراحة يعني ما أعتقد البحرين هي الدولة الوحيدة اللي اهتمت باللؤلؤ الطبيعي لهاي الدرجة، والبحرين الدولة الوحيدة اللي تمنع بيع اللؤلؤ المزروع في السوق. فعشان كذي البحرين اكتسبت مهارات مو موجودة في أي دولة ثانية بحكم هاي القانون. هاي الحكم يعني صار لصالح البحرين، لأن خلاها تكتسب مهارات وعلم عشان تقدر تميز بين اللؤلؤ المزروع وبين اللؤلؤ الطبيعي. من ناحية إحصائيات أنا أقدر أقول لك، يعني أنا ما أقدر أتكلم عن الإنتاج البحرين للؤلؤ الطبيعي، ولكن أقدر مثلا نقول لك إن إحنا في مختبر دانات تمر علينا سنويا ملايين، يعني ملايين من اللولو الطبيعي، منها من البحرين، جزء منها من البحرين، جزء منها من دول أخرى. وطبعا أتوقع الإنتاج يكون وايد أكثر من هالموضوع.
If I can just add one element. So, from the introduction of cultured pearls, the country and the families never gave up on the value of natural pearls. The challenge obviously was the ability to showcase to external parties in an objective way what is the difference between a cultured pearl and a natural pearl. Where we are today, we have the scientific means and the innovation and the technology to be able to examine each pearl, to be able to distinguish between a natural and a cultured pearl. And this is where the value comes. And this is evidence and proof of the vision and the trust of the families in the value of something that, as we discussed earlier, always been part of history. It just needed to go through the test to be able to show today in an objective way why this is of value and not something that you could grow in quantities and will not have the same history and heritage of a natural pearl.
Any further questions?
If I may.
Sure.
I would like to add something and let's say make a comment to the previous question. I am an economist. I am not a scientist in the jewelry business, but I have enjoyed two things. One, belonging to a jewelry business which is belonging to the family since a couple of 100 years. And the second, that I have enjoyed to, let's say, improve my little knowledge in this business because the high quality of the scientists that I have dealt and continue dealing with. So this is just to go back to your consideration. About your question, I would make, in this specific case, a marketing consideration, which is this. The natural pearls, as everything in nature, if you take 1,000 pearls, 1,000,000 pearls, 1,000,000,000 pearls, if they are natural, they are each one special and unique. Not one is equal to another one. That means that the natural pearl production is a production that has to be marketed at the very high-end quality of the pearls industry, and then again I'm referring to the natural pearls. You know, when you have something unique, is unique. Is unique. You know, today, if you have, I don't know, a Ferrari. You know, the last model of Ferrari we built in 100 pieces worldwide, and every one is different of every other one because there is a team of specialists building handmade. And they sign the engine, or they sign the glass, or they sign, you know, this, you have a Ferrari with a specific certificate. This car has been built by, you know, like a suit. I can show you my suit. There is something here inside made by my tailor. This suit has been done for Mr. So and the date. But apart that, the pearl, the natural pearl, could be certified. And when you certify something, and then something like a natural pearl, and you market this pearl as a very high-end quality pearls, regardless the size. It's not question of size. It's question of beauty, and it's question of being natural against the cultured pearls, which are cultured. So this is an element that you can bring as an added value, and this is the added value of the miracle of nature that is giving us the pleasure and enjoying the fact that natural pearls are existing. So it's also that, and again, I'm talking now as a marketing man, not as belonging to the jewelry industry. If we have something special, we have to tell the people the story. If you have a product such as a natural pearl where you can tell the people a story, you know, this is fantastic. You know, and I go back to somebody, journalist, your colleague, told me years ago in the United States, if you do something and you don't tell the people what you do, better don't do it. It's useless. But if the nature and we are there to enhance, to underline the beauty of natural pearls, then we have to market it properly as a natural pearl is. Thank you.
Any further questions? Our speakers, thank you for inspiring words, shedding light on the importance of natural pearls in Bahrain. Thank you all for your attendance today. Please pass by the registration desk to register for the SIBJO Congress coming up next week. And there are buses to take you to the lunch at Fishbone Restaurant. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
شكراً.